Captain, my started from Bujumbura issue.
I
think, say Ghana, we glorify foolishness.
We glorify foolishness.
And
producer Kachem say he's very sure said nenye.
You see, we glorify foolishness, one, and two, this is a lawless country. Very lawless. Irresponsible leadership has rendered this country to become a lawless country. You see, when you are it makes you feel say you are nowhere than I don't know how to describe this country. Ghana is dead. Ghana is sick. Ghana is running like political ORS. You see, we need to find solutions to make sure say now as a country, make things work and work better. You see, the entire because Ghana is lawless no. I say, Evan, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Or Kansembia, I want to support him. Say they all can, I don't know, a mudo. Now I want to associate myself with him with a lot of statement or the above thing. From where I'm maybe free like Mikasa Edema, almost about 18 million people. Captain or Hardine, for example. Ghana offer Onua Mensa and Ghana and the whole world. If we were to present or put together 3 basic things like food, shelter, your security and possibly clothing. This is the basic needs of human beings. So if you have country with leadership who are clueless, who cannot think outside the box, and they cannot solve the basic problems of the Ghanaian people, then unfortunately you are having useless leadership. Leaders who cannot think, cannot create, cannot make things happen, it means that we are doomed. I'm begging, taking this platform to say, when I would in there, some of us have been behind for a long time, but you studied Ghana for a very long time. And any canon, I've heard Captain, but Canadian people don't understand. I've had a Canadian, mommy Canadian. You see, this is the time I was say about Montema, the corridors of power, to understand that the power is not in their hands. The Constitution of the Republic of Ghana states clearly and emphatically that the power of this country emanates from the people. And Yama President we gave the president something small. We gave the minister something tiny from the powers of the president. And they are misusing it. We are not going to use any hard words on them. But me say Ghana for ye be any. Not make a house and say my making. Captain, I take the opportunity under Onua TV because over the years some of us have had opportunity platform to speak for the Ghanaian people. Fredrick document a lot of media houses to talk about social issues. Because like we are towing the line of the politicians, but the social issues ne here else ye canon ye Bujumbura asemi ya kan ho asemi ya on say I na yem pay for umutu kwan. They travel a lot but they don't learn. The minimum say they just travel, ride in just travel, be airlifted, running skater, moving from Europe, the Americas and wherever. But even this they would have taken Ghana to different level. Now, and then Ghana Tenants Union, let me put in her. Me making some statements kakra. Now, I'm say objectivity is very important time, and we nipa. You have to be bold and speak and put the truth where it must be placed, with no fear from any contest. Because one day born, one day die. Nobody can die twice. They born you one, you die one. So you speak the truth to the cultures of power for the people to appreciate and understand. Say, yo, we have men in this country. Not say you man you go. And nobody can use any law to intimidate anyone because I'm a criminal. I don't have any criminal records in my sheets. And I think say I need to make sure say yeah, Captain. Politicians say we are aware. Meaning say we are aware. Are you aware when our rent law came into being? 1963. Act 220, the 220th law of parliament, you know, the rent law. In fact, rent control issues, you know, came under the 1952 ordinance, rent control ordinance, 1952. From 1952, Kwame Nkrumah 1962, 52 to 62, 10 years, came out with the rent law. And the rent law was clear that under section 25, subsection 5, no landlord is expected to demand rent advance exceeding 6 months. Captain, it is stated clearly, black and white, open, under section 25, subsection 5, that it is illegal, it is criminal and offensive that any landlord in this country who take rent advance exceeding 6 months has to be jailed and punished or pay 250 penalty units. And then there is what we call impunity. Landlords are demanding 3-4 years after all. DNBC could talk to me. See, the reason why I'm building a case, say, create a lawless country. So you have people who also compromise lawlessness. What I say, and those who cannot think outside the box. We have ministers come and gone. Especially, I want to be on the housing ministers. Coming down here from the Akufo-Addo's government, from Atachia to Asensu Boakye to Oponkroma. You see, I'm sorry to say they cannot think. I'm not insulting them, but I believe, say, if they really mean business, and they bet me up a solution to their problems. Because the Brianse be say joblessness, unemployment, but the basic needs, no, ask the workers, why are they going on strike? Why are they chanting and ranting? Because they cannot pay their rent. Because somebody who's supposed to check how much you should what? You should charge or you shouldn't charge. It's not in order. Somebody says, "Me na mesi me die, Captain. Opa tinamu, opa ko." And the law says this, and nobody, after 62 years, that law is not working in the country. Even do know that, Captain, that we have a rent bill in Parliament. I don't know whether you are aware.
Yes, sure. That one I'm aware.
Almost 20 years in you. The rent bill that says, okay, you some problem now, you 1 year rent advance. 1 year. From 6 months to 1 year. If the landlord are saying, say, if I 1 year, you have 1 year. Me no can say, Parliament bear rising, I can't say 50 something at Toba. In the next 30 days or 40 days, I'm passing the rent bill in the Parliament now. It says started all over again. Yeah. Everything is started now. Yes, what I say. What I say, they have to make sure say you better throw out. Meanwhile, the Ghanaian people are not getting place to sleep. It media the American say, I fear by a betu ya yetu. They may say Ghana from politics through an organization, but we want to set the platform open for all people to what to make assessment. That Munshan Konfona or Modi policy Bremono. Especially the MPP and the NDC, these two people.
But the MPP force say we here higher. Do
you know that we were part of the launch of the National Housing National Resistance Scheme? The Tenants Union of Ghana, I gave a solidarity at the full glare of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Nano Tosrebo, 2 UC boss, all of them. And I warned them that it's going to be as usual. But they should find ways and means to curtail that. I told them. It's like, it's a failed policy, which I have stated on many platforms. I have issued statement that we disassociate ourselves as a union. Because, of course, it's a failed policy. It has failed, and that if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the MPP, make an attempt, to stand on the podium and stick in the, what do you call it?
Stick their chest out.
Pride.
Okay.
We will just stick our head and boot for them. No, when the rent assistance came, when it came, I buy Captain. Almost mama. January this year. Almost say Onua mama 1,492. Let me say, bring the list. Bring the list of the beneficiaries because want to be to confirm family. I had issued a statement as at now they didn't mind us. I heard them talking about say it is successful. Recently, Oponkroma came out and with the press conference, with the meet the press, and it's talking about you achieve a lot. The rent assistance scheme is doing well, but I'm telling what's the name, Mr. Opoku. So on the buy and chair, I say Abba Fresh. So it's unfortunate that he is going to be loaded on misinformation, not also spew because it's about government. There also be. Are you aware of Segleme?
Oh yeah.
And now you're aware.
Segleme.
Do you know that after 7.5 years, let's expose them. Let's expose this government. It's high time we expose them for people to know how careless, are too short, and wicked that they are. Very, very wicked.
I can't a politician.
Wicked because one, we have Segleme. Somebody started something, went for a loan of $200 million, invested the money, whether it was 1,500, 2,500, the matter is in court. It is the court in Yama court in Chomuntum Meboa. Not that can yen salvage na obintiram. That would be the wisest thing that every government, any government would do, unless a Tumonkosi government. A Tumonkosi government and a Tumonkosi leader who believes, say after all,
Tumonkoso.
Of course. If you can't think through, you can't think, you can't create wickedness. Is that one? Are you telling me, Mr. Segleme, for 7.5 years? Time on the last government, you know, NDC4, Captain, almost $7 million materials is stolen. And financial loss to the state. Under the watch of this MPP, under the watch of Atachia and Asensubuachimeboa, almost $7 million United States dollars worth of materials taken, gone. And now they are going for $100 million from a private man to go and finish the property and sell it out because Yaboka. Recently, go to Pokuase. You take our land, 203 acres of land at Pokuase. Recently, called affordable housing. 203 acres of land, Pokuase, and given to a private people, investors, built and sell in dollars. 1 bedroom is 20,800 United States dollars. That's your president for you.
Is that affordable housing?
That is your president for you. That is MPP government for you.
Affordable housing.
That's the question.
Can you, which of you can afford that to live in?
20,000.
Then it is not affordable housing.
So 20,800, 2 bedrooms. I didn't say it. As Subachi said it, announced it. 34,000 United States dollars for 2 standard bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms are going for $42,000. Now, Captain, go back to their manifesto. Go and see what they were promising us. They have taken us a Jim Yerim Yansa. Omufe Yadume ha. Pesa me Ghana ni na yakoto abana. And net ye to be and net yamu be letter say leave the room and your family, and that person don't even think. You see them singing songs here and there. We belong to and okumi krana media ya wumi tumu and to there we them come ha. That is foolish talk. Unquote. Who tell me ne?
And then my bedroom.
Who tell me ne? No, I'm telling you, and you telling me say ya wo to NDC, ya wo to MPP. If this government has rendered you in a position where you never been na, and they will feel rich now, I'm letter year 2 because federal indiscriminately was 20 them also per 2 paja. Then the Nigerians even go to tiptoeing, right? Now the Ghanaians themselves cannot have access to our stores because they can't pay rent. If the foreigners have taken over the stores, and Ghanaians have been rendered what? Useless. This is the government we are talking about. I'm not here to do politics, Captain, but I'm here to expose and do expose against any policy that is inimical, any policy that will not give you peace. And that MPP housing policy, compared to John Dramani Mahamad's policy, is what we have declared support for. Which without fear for many quarters, and without any ambiguity, we are saying that we needed a policy that will make sure, say, the laws will be enforced. That is our basic definition of the enforcement of the law.
Rest your case.
That's it.